Good morning, people of Fulham Fan TV. We're here today on this cold and wet Monday morning outside the Noble Hotel in Shoreditch, where we're going to interview a player of Fulham past, Champions League winner, Scandinavian legend, all-round legend, John Arne Riise. So let's get inside and move. Come on.
John, why did you decide to write a book?
Well, first of all, I like to tell my story. You know, I feel I have an interesting life from a young boy, you know, having dreams to become a football player and experience bullying when you're young, working hard, and also when it comes to having success on the pitch, there's a certain way you can handle that, and some handle it in a good way, some in a bad way. But I just want to tell my story and get people to know the real John Arne Riise, not just through the media, but actually my own words and who I am as a person. I think that's important also.
What is your favourite part of the book and why? What was the most interesting bit to write for you?
Oh. When I sat down and talked about the book, I started thinking, okay, how should my book become? It's quite hard to realize how much you've forgotten about your life from your childhood or your career. So luckily my writer, he did his research and has to, and I thought, oh, that's right. And he just reminded me of stuff that I had forgotten, and that was like quite surprising because it's big things that I just forgotten about. But I think the hardest part was talking about my dad who passed away and not being able to see him in the hospital before he died. That was quite hard, but quite relieving to just get out there. But the best part to talk about was the Champions League final.
Because you said it as well in your book about your mum, and you didn't talk about your dad's because she protected us, me and my brother, from him, and I thought it was just nothing to talk about, to be honest, and we didn't know how bad it was between my mom and my dad, so we just left it. And then I just respected my mom's decision not to talk about it, and she respected us because she knew we were his sons, so she didn't want to give a bad picture of who he was. And now, as he's passed away, I think that's a good thing to do. But then she came out with a book a few years ago, and everything came out, and then we never talked about it because I think it's just something that she has her opinion about it, I got my opinion, and I want to remember my dad as a dad, not all the bad part because he's passed away.
Because I was about to say, I don't know whether this will actually include this in the interview or not, but reading that really helped me personally, because I'll be honest with you, my dad used to drink a little bit as well, and him and my mum used to argue a lot, but it just showed me that no matter what's in front of you, no matter what stops you from doing what you want to do, if you just work hard enough, you can just get it out of your head, work around it and just carry on.
You know, I mean, everybody has some problems. Some problems are bigger than others, obviously, and different lifestyle, and I know that. But at the end of the day, if you face a problem, you're the only one who can fix it. And if you want to reach something, you can't just expect it to fall in your hand. It's done. You have to work hard for it, and it might take time. But if you do it the right way and properly, you will reach it. And okay, not everyone can be a professional football player. You all know that, or a lawyer, or a bankman. But if I said to myself quite early in my football career, I want to know when I retired that I did everything the best I could to become the best part of John Arne Riise. Yes, I reached more than I could ever dream of when it comes to successful in my career, because when I was young I was dreaming, okay, I want to play for the national team and become professional. That was like the biggest target, like the massive one. I never dreamt about winning the Champions League or being both or FA Cup. I never dreamt about that because we were so far ahead that there's no chance that happening. So I'm achieved more in my career than I could ever dream about, which proves that okay, hard work really helps and it pays off at the end. And so when I retired 2 years ago, I feel I could still keep playing, but I'm a guy who is known for giving 100% and doing a little extra. And I came to a point where I couldn't do it. Yes, I could train and play, but I didn't do the extra work. And so I'd rather just stop them because he wasn't the person I'm known for. So I just stopped. But I miss football, obviously, but I knew when I retired, you know what, I achieved more than I could dream of. I did everything I could to become the best version of myself on the pitch. and I like the person I am today. It's just that if you look different, because in Norway when I was a ginger, I am a ginger, freckles, plus when you're good at something, the other kids might turn against you. So that what happened in my school, because I came to a new school, I moved my parents and my mom and my brother, and things changed when you got to a new school, because you come there and you take over like the other guy who was better than me in sports. I came and I beat him and everything, and then he turned everybody against me. So that's how it happened. But at that time, when you're young, you don't think it's bullying, because you don't know what bullying is. You think, oh, that's normal. But then when you grow up again and get older, you realize that's not normal. So yes, I was left alone, but you know what? I trained so much. I was like 12, 13. I trained 21 times a week because I love training. So that was my thing.
Morning, noon and night.
Yeah, I trained 6 in the morning, I ran an hour before school, I trained 11 in the evening before I went to bed, I trained in the middle of the day, because I wanted to be special, I wanted to be known for something and good at something. And I wasn't particularly awesome at school, but I had a left foot. I was told early age I had a great left foot, so I wanted to use that for something special, and I worked hard.
What would you say to like kids that are bullied now? Like maybe because you said you want to tell your story to help others. So what would you say to kids now that are bullied?
The most important thing is, believe in yourself. The first tattoo I got, well, the second one, the main, this one. I have one here because believe in yourself. Because if you don't believe in yourself that you're good enough or you are somebody, then who else is going to do it? So it was important for me to trust myself, believe I was good at something. So if you're bullied now, you know what? Just work hard for what you want to achieve, what you believe in, and eventually you'll win and the bully is going to lose.
I think one thing I've always wanted to wonder and notice with any footballer, to be honest, is you've played in a series of different countries for a number of different clubs. Obviously Norway's is always going to be your home, and it always will be. But I just wanted to know, is there any club that you play for or city that you've played in that feels like home the most? Or?
Yeah, well, I was 7 years in Liverpool, and I learned a lot as a person being there, because of Liverpool and UK is quite similar to Norwegian lifestyle, and so I feel very home in Liverpool because I was there 7 years and so many memories, and achieved so much on the good side and on the bad side, so on and off the pitch. So for me, Liverpool is basically my second home because I was there 7 years. But I also have a great relationship with the fans in the city of London and Rome, especially. In London, it's because Fulham is a family club. It's just like a really close family. When I came there, it was like I was a big signing, but you just feel so home when you're there. In Moscow Park, the training ground, and Craven Cottage, it's just like felt like home. So I'm being lucky because I have a good relationship with all my clubs and the fans, and I think that's very important.
Would you say your brother Bjorn had a part to play in you arriving at Fulham?
Yeah, just a bit.
Massive, because I had 1 year left with Roma, and I was in discussion on a new contract. Then I knew my brother has only 1 year left at Fulham, so I thought the only chance for us to play on professional level, we played for national team, but professionally was if I went from Rome to Fulham. So I asked my agent if he can check with Fulham if they were keen, and they were. And so yeah, he was mainly the reason why I went to Fulham, because I want to play with him.
Because I've noticed this in a book as well, and not many other Fulham fans would know this, but back in the days when you were just a teenager at Monaco, Jean Ticheneur tried to sign you once. He had left Monaco to come to Fulham, and at those times you ended up signing for Liverpool, but I can see why you made the choice.
Yeah, but the thing is though, I wanted to go to Fulham because of Jean Ticheneur, because he brought me to Monaco, so, and I want to play in the Premier League. But I think most of the people understand when when it comes in Fulham, which I agreed on, almost like it was 5 seconds before I signed the contract, and then the phone rang and it was Liverpool. So I think that people understand why I picked Liverpool because of it. But at the same time, I was very happy when I came back and had a chance to go back to Fulham, because it kind of made up for it. You know what I mean? So I was really happy, and those 3 years in Fulham was amazing. I mean, I had an unbelievable time with the club. Unfortunately, we went down in my last season, which was partly down for the players didn't perform, but also I think
Felix Magath
when it comes to manager, I think it was a bad choice of manager when at that time, because I think René Molenstein, when he was there,
doing an okay job.
We did okay, we played well and we played good football, and it was a surprise to all of us when he left. But Fulham, I'm glad he's back in the Premier League, and it's one of the clubs that I feel very close to because of this. It's the stadium and the training ground and the people and the fans, because there's so many generations. There's so many generations of fans there. So yeah, I mean, I really love Fulham.
Can we talk about René Molenstein? What happened in that? That was a bit crazy. He was like there. How many weeks was it?
I think just over a month.
A month.
No, but the thing was when he came, because I was out of the team with Martin Jol for about 100 days before I played for one game, and then René came and I started the first game again. And we played great football, we trained, and the boys were happy. And then we had like a 4 or 5 days off because of the national team game, and so people went home to all the. I went to the mountains with my wife and stuff, and then we get a call that René is sacked and Magath is on, and then we called back before those 4 days was done. So he started in a bad way, you know, calling people back home with the kids and new flights and hotels and everything, straight back again to start working, and we were surprised. And some of the players that knew it from before told us that this is going to be.
Is there anybody from the squad during your time at Fulham that you still speak to this day? Or?
Yeah, obviously Breda. He's, you know, a close friend, and you always see me talk with, you know, Steve Sidwell, Danny Murphy, but that's through, you know, text or Twitter or whatever. Just in football though, it's like you can be away for so many months, and then when you meet each other again, it's like nothing happened. So. But yeah, I mean, I had a great time. I missed going to the gym with the boys in the dressing room, sitting at the Credit Cottage in the dressing room there and just prepare for the game. It was a great time. No, it was just the type of training, you know, because everything was different than what we're used to. And I've been with some good clubs and some good managers, and everything was different. And we all said that this is something different, and I couldn't see it working out. The recovery session after the game, he would have us run for an hour and a half maybe, day after the game and stuff like that, which is quite unusual. Type of training, because he was strict though. He demanded a lot, which is good, but it was different too. I can't really put a word on it because I think we all felt different, and the way he connected with the players as well was different.
Wasn't much of a strong connection?
No, because obviously because the language barrier is always a problem as well, and also because his fitness coach didn't speak really good English, so that's always a problem.
Because I remember vaguely the season that we did get relegated. I think it was like the week before the game at Stoke. I think Lewis Holtby said he just had you running around the edges of Motspur Park for about 2 hours the day before a big game.
Well, if he wasn't happy, he'll let us know about it, and then in training, when it could be a running session or whatever. But you know, managers are different. You know, that's how it happens. But that's why also in my book didn't talk too much about it, because it was one period of my career which wasn't worth mentioning because it was so different. It was strange, and I never experienced before.
I'm glad you got away from it either way.
No, but I wish I could stay on to play for Fulham, because you know I really wanted, but I couldn't work under
these conditions. Yeah, of course. I don't think anyone, even I definitely wouldn't be able to anyway. But
do you have a funny story from Fulham? You must have a lot, but
I got a lot of story, but it's like a rule. What happened in the dressing room stays in the dressing room.
Breda Hangeland, he says everything.
Yeah, but Breda is a funny guy. He was a captain. He's allowed to say it. No, the best trainer. My brother was the best one when I was there. I'm not a bad one either, but I would say Breda Hangeland is probably the most serious one. Professional. He's really, really good when it comes to being professional. Scott Parker was hard in training. The funny one, well, it's got a few. Andrew Johnson was, because he was just joking around. Bobby Zamora.
Do you have a story to back that up?
No, I can't tell stories, but Bobby Zamora, every day, every morning, he was coming in with a joke, always laughing in the fixture room, always. He was always joking. Him and Johnson was just ridiculous. The best player I played with at Fulham was probably Dembele. I think Moussa Dembele was freaking awesome. I mean, what a player. He's probably the hardest player to ever get the ball from. He was so good. Let's see who is. Then we had some bad signings that I did. Well, the thing is, when you sign a player, you're not always certain for success, you know. And they might not fit the Premier League or the club or whatever. And there's a few of them as well.
I think a lot of it's based on potential rather than what they actually play like.
What was I going to say though? I'm going through the team now. Who is? No, I mean, I really enjoyed playing with Brede because he was the left centre back. I was left back. We had a Clint Dempsey was. Damien Duff was hard worker as well, and an amazing guy. I think Damien Duff was really funny. Clint Dempsey was brilliant but crazy. He was probably one guy you want to have in a war, because he goes in the war with you and he'll fight for you.
You'd rather be on his side than against him.
110%, and I'm glad I was on his side.
Who's the most flashiest?
Oh, I have to think, man.
Do you know who I think it is? I'd say probably Alex Kakaniklic.
No, but he was probably one of my closest friends there. You know, because he was younger, I took a little bit care of him, and he was Swedish. So, and we still keep in touch today. He was a great player, a little bit shy, but he's just so shy and quiet, but very funny. And he was flashy. I'm trying to look at my team now. I think the one who cared about dressing was Mladen Petric. He was you know, good looking, his hair and everything, and he liked his dress sense. But he was a fantastic person. I mean, this guy is brilliant. But
who was the one that surprised you the most that didn't make it, as like in a high level that you thought they had the most talent at Fulham? No.
See, do you know who mine would be for two? Mine would be Ashkan Diaga and Kieran Fry. I thought Kieran Fry could have been the next big thing.
You're not bad. I mean, Kerim, he was really good, but it comes to, you have to have all the things, you know. You have to be a good player, you have to be mentally strong, you have to have the right people around you. And Kerim was unlucky with injuries, and he didn't get his full potential, but he could have been awesome. I mean, he had a good career, but he could have been brilliant. But I think Kakaniklic also, he had the potential to, I mean, he played for Nantes and some good clubs, but he could have been even bigger because of the potential, because he was a great player. But I think he's too shy actually to really be who he could have been.
And what about Martin Jol? How was he as a manager?
You know what, I love Martin Jol. You know, he's a character. He brought me to Fulham and he let me play my game. But it came to a point where Kieran Richardson were there, and he preferred him as left back until in front of me. So there was like 100 days from my last starting game to my next one when I was at Fulham before he left. And I made a deal with Martin that I'd rather stay home and train and work hard and go to games, because then I'll lose 2-3 days of training every time I go to a game and sit on the bench. So I said I'd rather stay home and train harder, so when I get a chance I'm ready. And he agreed, so I wasn't in the squad for about 100 days. And I trained, and I would never been so fit in my life because I worked so hard. It was ridiculous. Every day with the fitness coach, when the team goes away, I'm staying at home in Mossel Park and running and training. So.
Have you ever had a chance to go back to Fulham to watch a game since you've left? Or?
I haven't been to it. Every time I'm in London, there's no game. It just doesn't add up. I spoke to Stefan Johansson, so I'm gonna get some tickets and go there and watch a game.
What's Stefan Johansson like?
He's you know, he's the captain of Norway. He's a great player. I don't think this year he's been able to show his potential or what he can do. He's been on the bench and in and on and off the pitch a little bit, but great player. And as soon as he gets his confidence back and get his stride back, because he's a hard-working player, but a great left foot. He's a team player. Oh yeah, last season he was brilliant. I mean, he scored goals, made assists, and he was just like, he's like a dog in the middle. He just runs and tackles and get the ball. And
he's not afraid to dig in and get dirty.
No, and I think Ranieri loves that kind of player. So I think Ranieri will see that throughout the season now, that he's a man he can trust. But I think now, because of he hasn't played so well this year, I think Stefan needs his confidence back and believe that how good he is, because he's an important part of the team.
Is he a quiet personality or not? Because he seems a bit like ice cool. I see Norwegians, like, even you're friendly now, but even when you were a footballer, you were like ice cool as well.
I think it's more like we love our job, we're so professional and so focused on doing our job. So when you're in training round or a game or in the media, we are so focused on doing the right job.
I think the way you promoted it in your book is very well, because there were some players that have even played for Fulham that I think haven't handled it in the best way. Jamie O'Hara being one of them, he had a lot of his relationship and a lot of the troubles in his life open to the public whilst he was still playing. And I think the way he promoted it compared to yourself jeopardised his career.
Yeah. But the only thing, when it comes to Fulham though, the only thing I can say I regret when it comes to Fulham is that I didn't score a goal, even though I was freaking close.
You hit the post so many times.
And the crossbar, and it was saved on the line. I'm just thinking, how on earth doesn't I score that goal in 3 years? That was just so disappointing. And also, I think a lot of Fulham fans has misunderstood why I left and how it happened, because of, I mean, I love Fulham and I love the fans because I had 3 amazing years there, but I didn't like the end of the line when I didn't continue playing there because of Magath and what happens there. I can tell you one story about when I left. Was we were told by Magath to stay back for 10 days to train after the season finished, just to train, because he didn't want to give us too much holiday. And my contract was done in 1st of June. This was the middle of May, and I was getting married end of May. So I asked Magath if I can go home when this game is finished, the last game of the season, to prepare for my wedding, because I only have 7, 8, 9 days until my wedding. He said no. So if I left after the season, I can go, but then they take 10 days off your salary. And my contract was done in 1st of June, and I was getting married. And I asked kindly if I can please go home and prepare. He said no. So I was taking 10 days of salary in the last month. And I think that's a weird thing to do.
It is. I think a lot of clubs would have been a lot more, and a lot more managers would be a lot more accommodating to it, because it's not every day that you get married.
No, but it's not that. It's just that when you add and your contract is done, you're not going to come back in the next season. He was keeping the players back not to give them too much holiday. Obviously, the players were fuming because of staying back 10 days after the season.
I actually had a ticket for the Champions League final, but I had a university. My university's down there, and I had a ticket. I had to go to an exam, so I couldn't go to Turkey.
Oh my God.
To Turkey, yeah. So it was a big thing. Can you talk us through it, like a story about the whole day or something like that?
Well,
is that difficult?
No, it was a long day because the game is at night time, and we arrived in Istanbul a couple of days before the final, which is normal, so we can settle down and have a training session there and just rest. But it was a long day. We went for always breakfast, and then we sleep again, and then it's a walk, and then lunch, and then sleep again, and then watch the movie. So it's like a really long day, and you just want to get on to it because it's the biggest game of your life, and it takes so long to get there. But I remember it was quite hot in the day, and when we had that walk in the middle of the day, just to stretch our legs and stuff, Rafa Benitez always walks around and talks to certain players about, and then you know you're starting or not, because we didn't know the team. And I remember he was talking to Stevie and Kara and all these players. Obviously they are starting, but I didn't know myself. I expected to start, but you never know what he's thinking. So.
Who was the alternative choice at left back for you at Liverpool at the time?
Oh, back then, because I played left wing, it was Jimmy Traore who played left back. So the day was long, but Rafa told me I'm playing anyway, just before they finished the walk. So I knew, so I could prepare myself. Come to the stadium, you're trying to pretend to be a normal game, but you just know. Because we took the bus to the stadium, and we drove past so many fans walking to the stadium, it was ridiculous. And but in my head I was thinking, normal game, just do the normal thing, you know, everything you do normal, but you were more excited, a little more tense in your muscles, and then the game started.
Can you talk us through the game and the emotions afterwards?
Well, the first half, although I didn't think we played that badly, we were 3-0 down. Just hit us, and AC Milan was brilliant. They scored on chances. We could have scored maybe a penalty. They went up and scored a goal again. So at half it was 3-0, and basically just felt like I want to go home because it was embarrassing, and we were thinking this could be really ugly. At half time we're sitting there and thinking we got to score 3 goals in the one half against the best defensive team in Europe, you know, or maybe in the world, which is almost impossible. But Rafa did some changes, and CVG said some things in the halftime about, you know, we listened to the fans singing, you never walk alone. But we didn't really believe that we can go out and win. But Rafa just said, go out and
try.
Go out and try. If it's 3-0 at full time, fine, we walk away with 3-0. But you know, you deserve to be here, go out and prove it. And if you score the first goal, you never know what can happen.
It gets the ball rolling.
So we just went out there and scored 3 goals in 6 minutes, which was just like. And at 3-1, I could look at some players at AC Milan. Okay, I could see the change in the body language. Then we got 3-2 straight after, and then they started shouting at each other.
Nervous.
Then you know, you're in your head. You're in their heads now. And we got so much energy, so we just kept going. And then we scored 3 each. So all 3 goals in 6 minutes, and then I knew then we're gonna win now but we had to cool down after that because we didn't want to go back to 3-0 and then keep going and they scored 4-3. So after 3 each, we
calm it down a little bit.
Calm it down, got more togetherness, and just calmed down because it was, you know, it cost a lot of energy to do what we did. But I thought we were going to win in the 90 minutes. We didn't, and then it was extra time. Jersey Duda had that unbelievable save where he closed his eyes and just put his hands out and saved Shevchenko's shot. And then penalties, which was weird because I didn't know who was going to take penalties. But I remember Rafa was like 10 yards away from me. He was looking at me, he just nodded. And I just nodded back. And then he wrote something with his paper, so I just thought, I guess I'm taking a penalty then. So, and I wanted to take one. I really wanted to take one. And for my story, it's like, because I missed my penalty, was so disappointed. And because I had cramp in the extra time. And then, so as I was walking towards the goal, I didn't really know what to do. Should I smash it like I normally would have? Should I place it? Or should I do a panenka? That was the 3 options I had when I was walking. So I put the ball down, I still haven't decided what to do. Turn around, walk back to 18-yard line. As soon as I turned to look at the goal and Dida, then I decided, go for safety option. So I placed it in the corner, he saved it, and it was just one of the most disappointing moments of my career because although we won, for my personal feeling, was really disappointed not to score it because, you know, scoring that in the final would be extreme. But I'd rather miss and win than score and lose. So I mean,
100%.
so yeah, it was an amazing day. I have a picture in my house now where I'm lifting the trophy and I'm kissing it. And I remember when I did it at the ground, I said to myself, I made it. It's just when I hold that trophy up, I kiss it, that, you know what, whatever happened before, whatever's going to happen in the next 20 or 30 years, I don't care. I made it. All the hard work was worth it. All the bullying or sacrifices or whatever you can call it, it was worth it. I'm here with the trophy.
One last thing I just wanted to make a note of is after you left Fulham, obviously you went to join Apoel,
yeah,
and then on to Calcutta in India as well. What was it like playing in both of those countries? Or?
Well, in Cyprus was, you know, they were in the Champions League, so it was quite, you know, interesting to go there. Different kind of football, but I really enjoyed it. We won the double last season, and we played in the Champions League, which against Barcelona and stuff. So it was quite interesting to do that, and I really enjoyed myself. It's a great place to play. Not the same atmosphere at certain games, but our home fans was unbelievable. And then I had 2 spells in India for Delhi and Chennai, which I mainly went just because of I knew they were building up a new thing for football. They wanted to use current players who had a name to promote their football and learn. So I went there basically just to give something back to them, and it was an amazing experience, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm glad I did those things for 2 times 3 months.
Was Roma nice? Was Roma, when you went to Roma, what was that like?
Unbelievable. When you're a football player and the family or your wife or your girlfriend and stuff, they know that part of being with a football player is that you have to move a lot, you know, and you have to follow the career. It's a short career, but when I went to Rome, it was only my decision, and it was a great one because Rome, amazing city, fantastic football club, and I got to play with Totti. I think being a Norwegian helped me when it comes to hard work, because we are known for giving 100%, we are known for being polite, friendly, inclusive with people. When you meet people, you're always friendly and talking to them. But I think the main thing is Norwegian people are known for working hard and giving 100%. I think that helped me a lot because I came to a club and I always wanted to prove myself that I was good enough, or I wanted to be the best when it comes to fitness tests or whatever.
Because I remember as a kid when I was growing up, and I'll never forget when Erik Mykkeland when you beat England 2-0, I think, in Norway, and everyone was like, Norway, and you had all these players like Gunnar Halle, Jostein Flo. There's so many that came, Erik Bakker.
That good generation was the ones who put Norwegian football on the map, you know, so it was easy for us coming after to be recognised in football. So we are thankful for what they did because, like you said, we beat England and suddenly we had so many players in the Premier League or whatever it's called back then. But so that gives us like inspiration to work hard because okay, wow, we got some players there now. Because, like you said, you know, Gunnar Halle, Lars Bohinen, and all these people. Then Solskjaer came, and then Stefan Iversen came, and you know, so all these players. So yeah, he gave us inspiration that. And maybe an easy way for us to get to the Premier League.
What was your happy moment playing for Norway, would you say, personally?
Well, I was lucky to play almost 5 years with my brother, which was, you know, quite special. But I think when I broke the record for appearances was a big one for me because it's been standing for many, many years. And when I reached my 105th cap, I was the sole person who had the most capped player. So that was a big moment for me personally. But as a team, well, it was. I qualified. Well, I didn't play as much, but I was in the Euro 2000, which was like a water boy because I didn't play as much. I didn't play that tournament, but I was there as a part of the squad. I was only 19, so Euro 2000 was a big learning thing for me.
Yeah. And when you were playing for Norway, you said your best friend was John Carew. He was an interesting character as well.
Well, John Carew is. We had like a healthy, competitive relationship because we always compete at who's the best, who's the most famous, who's the whatever successful. So we had like, because he was for Valencia and I was for Liverpool. So we both have great careers and we respect each other that way. But now we're friends because of we both like golf, we play golf together, and I think that relationship we had when it comes to competitive put us both more together because of. We had like an incident in the national when he hit me after training in the national team. But you know, knowing John Carew, that wasn't the real him. So we have a good relationship and we still play golf today. But what surprised me most about journalists is, and that surprised me in Norway also, that people care more about the personal life than actually what happens on the pitch and as a football player. Because if a football player gets married, divorced, get kids, or whatever happens, that's more interesting for the papers than actually why they are famous or known. That's the thing. That's why I wrote in Norwegian first, because they care more about what you do outside football than actually what you do on the pitch. But that's the thing that I think my career is more respected and more appreciated when it comes to Europe or the rest of the world than it's in Norway, which is weird. But
so why does actually the Norwegian press upset you?
No. I mean, I can't get upset. I mean, they have a job.
Yeah.
It's more like the Norwegian people because jealousy is a big thing in Norway. You know, you're not supposed to say you're good at something, prove you're good at something, at least not show you're good at something. If you do that or talk about it, then they don't like you. I'm quite opposite. I'm total opposite of how the standard Norwegian guy is. I'm the opposite. I like to say what I want and do what I want and just do it.
John's way.
My way, because it's my life.
How do the Norwegian people think you are?
I don't know. I mean, I think it's changed a lot in the last 3, 4, 5 years because people are seeing me a different way. But I think because you're successful and I'm a guy who likes to says it loudly. If I have a target, I want to do this, and they laugh at me and then I get my target. Oh, that's good enough. Because I said at a young age, I said I want to be professional. I want to play for Norway, and I want to be the best football player in Norway all time. And I've been voted that.
Could you compare yourself? And I know this is a bit might think. You know, when Roy Keane in Saipan. Are you the kind of person, like when you see the Norwegian team, listen, I can do it, let's do something with Norway, let's win something, let's go as far as we can go. Are you that kind of mentality, or like to some of the guys, come on, we can do this? And you were disappointed about maybe your international
I'm realistic, you know. I know I can quickly see how far we can take certain things, but I know, like for example, Norwegian national team, we're not going to win the World Cup or the Europeans because we are
Greece won it.
Huh?
Greece won it. They were awful.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think because we are a small country and we are a little bit behind when it comes to how we do things, but we know that. Everybody knows that, so we are clear and know that we got a lot of work to do. But I'm generally a very positive person. I have targets, and they might be way ahead of us possible, but I'd rather go for it and fail than just don't do it.
Is Norway home for you?
Norway.
Is it home for you?
It is, but at the same time I lived abroad since I was 17. So
nearly 20 years.
20 years abroad, and I feel because in Norway, you know, because of familiar face and everybody knows who you are and knows your story. So it's weird walking the street because you feel people looking. While you're in Europe, they might look as well, but it's in a different type of look. So I mean, but yeah, Norway's home.
Are you a person of the world or just?
No, I'm a person who likes to travel, see people, meet new people. I love traveling. That's why I do all these TV things and events all over the world. I love traveling and meeting new people.
Where's your favourite city you've been to in the world?
Favorite city?
Yeah. Apart from in Norway.
There's so many. You have to see why is it the perfect.
Where's the last one in the last year? Where's the nicest one you've been to?
Well, depends who. I mean, I love London because in London you can do everything you want. If you want to be a tourist or you want to go out or you want to just be relaxing or whatever, you can do everything in London. Then you have Dubai, which is my favorite city place to travel to because of the sun and relax. So it's difficult, and Rome because of the culture and the history. It's different, but I think London is Liverpool.
Of course.
Just on a final note as well, you say you're a big fan of making targets and working hard to achieve them. What's the next target for John Arne Riise? Okay, are you looking to go into coaching at all, or do your benches or anything like that?
Yes, I am. I just finished my B course now, and I'm looking to get into management and coaching as soon as possible. I'm a guy who likes to jump into things and rather regret something I did than not do. So coaching and managing is like the big target that I have. So hopefully I can start maybe in Norway or something first and then build it up. But I'm ready for a challenge, and who knows? The big dream is to come to Premier League to manage a team there, obviously. But it's a long way.
I think based on your perseverance and your own mental strength through training and working hard for the things you want as a teenager or even into your own adult life, I think it's something you can honestly do.
Yeah, plus also I've gone the hard way when it comes to becoming successful when it comes to a player, and I know I want to be the same as a coach as I was as a player, you know, always give 100%, work hard, demand a lot from people around me. So I have a vision on what I want to do and how I want to do it, but always it doesn't always go as you want, but at least I have a plan, and that's the main thing.
Because often, like, people get this impression, like, because you are such a high-level footballer, like, do you even want to go? Like, you know, you want to go to like championship straight away or something like that?
Because you can't say that you're a great manager straight away. You have to start somewhere and build your reputation. Like Stevie G started under 18s in Liverpool, then he went to Glasgow Rangers now, which is doing unbelievable there. And then the next step, you know, and you see Frank Lampard, he's at Derby now, and these are like unbelievable famous people.
So if you sat down with a chairman right now, what is your requirement with him? What would you want to say to him?
Well, first of all, I want to do my way, you know.
What is your way?
Hard work, determination, professionalism, support from the people around me, choose my own team, like my back staff who I want with me, and trust, because I want him to trust that whatever I do is going to be the right way to do it. And then I'll speak to my players and you know, tell them what I demand and what I expect from them, because I'm going to be like a tough manager, because if you don't work hard enough for me and do the job I want, then you're out, because I don't want to have people who doesn't believe in my ideas or in hard work. Then that's not who I am. You have to see who you're talking to. You got to know your players, you know. He's the type of player who can handle that, he's not. So you have to tell them the same things, but different ways, so they understand what you want. And so that's a clue for a manager, just to get to know your players and how to give them the right message and the right tip on how to do it, either in Norway or abroad.
Would you work with Stevie G on assistant?
Well, no, I don't, but I would have been his water boy if he wanted me to be that one. No, but my next target is to become manager. That's the. I feel ready now, even though I only have the B course. But I think the courses are just a piece of paper. I mean, when you have the experience and you play with under great managers, I think that helps, and you know football. So hopefully, anytime soon I'll take over a club in Norway or maybe in the UK.
Would you work at League Two?
Yeah, you have to start somewhere and build. I'm a player or coach now who wants to build something from the scratch and start building up something and change the whole thing and just do something different.